so long, people with this disease process have masked any type of feeling. So when you're first having that medical detox, you're gonna feel angry, you're gonna feel anxious, you're gonna feel giddy sometimes on medication. There's this whole gamut of feelings that you've never felt before, and it's scary at first, but the joy that comes after with continued addiction, and I don't really necessarily like that term. I prefer substance use disorder. But what a lot of people don't realize and have yet to come to believe is that it's a chronic disease. Just like diabetes, congestive heart failure, kidney disease, and so we need to treat it as though it is a disease. Signs and symptoms, and then we treat. But those signs and symptoms don't go away. Once you have a chronic illness, you're always going to have a chronic illness. And there's no shame and no guilt associated with diabetes, associated with congestive heart failure, and many others. But unfortunately, there's still a stigma related to substance use disorder. And there's a tendency to have, even in the treatment community, somewhat of a judgmental attitude toward people who do have that chronic disease. But what I'd like to tell people is that if you're a diabetic, we send you to a specialist. We don't send you just to your primary care physician, who may discover the initial diabetes signs and symptoms, but then they send you to a specialist, an endocrinologist. And that endocrinologist, when you go as a diabetic, doesn't shame you for, let's say, one of your colleagues brought in some donuts that day and you had one that morning, and then you see your endocrinologist that afternoon.